Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gex Enter the Gecko commentary. It's finally time to play Frankensteinfeld. Well,
Now, why in particular were you so adamant on not going to this level?
well, much like the actual Seinfeld, it's just kind of a bland thing that never goes anywhere.
But that's what makes it fun.
Hello, Newman.
Actually, when it comes to level design, this is probably the most Banjo-Kazooie-est level in the game. If that makes any sense. But maybe that's why it doesn't seem quite as focused as the other levels. I mean, there are 3 distinct pathways, of course, that you're supposed to follow, but actually getting to them is a bit more freeform than it is in the other ones.
Do the pathways like interconnect at all in any way, or is it like you go through one door, then it's just that path?
There are 2 down one door. The first door is just the little room that you come from, and I didn't realize this for a couple seconds, but I went backwards here. And then there's there. For all intents and purposes, there are only 2 doors, but there are 3 pathways. You see.
Okay, I thought there were 4 doors at first. Oh, right. Okay, that was just me not paying attention.
Anyway, yeah, this is also a level where the camera's gonna dick you over a lot, so be careful about that.
I think that could be a scene for basically every N64 PS1 game.
It doesn't look like it's too bad so far, but like a little slow. But that's just the time.
I forget. Do the bugs float over you indefinitely until you lick them up?
They
or
float over
will
you
they
for
disappear?
quite a while, but they will go away if you take a hit. So you can carry a healing bug with you or a power-up for a little while, and then swallow it at an opportune moment. Oh man, you know what? You remember the good old days when games just had secrets behind walls that you could walk through?
With no indication that you could walk through them.
Oh man, I love those. And by love, I mean hate.
Well, that one is...
I mean, if you got a good eye for texture mapping, you can see the seams.
Yeah, you really can. But the other thing though is that that one is pretty well telegraphed to the player, and there aren't really all that many of those in this game. In fact, I'm not even sure if there's.
How would you
more
say?
than one.
Why would you explain telegraph? What do you mean?
Depending on the design of a specific area, the secrets, the presence of something to examine there is easier to tell. There's just like little quirks in level design that sometimes show up where an area, like the shape of a platform or the shape of a hallway, seems to hint that there's something in this wall. And that's something that you learn to recognize if you played games like Wolfenstein 3D or the original Doom.
Yeah, this is a 2D thing, but like in Shovel Knight, you can, like, if a platform like if a ceiling platform is just high enough for you to reach it, there's probably something up there that if you walk on it, or something to that effect. It's things that you can tell, but also things that if you weren't paying attention, you just straight up wouldn't notice as well. Because there are some secrets, like in certain Metroid games, certain walls are just passed through, and you would have no reason to know that they were passed through unless if you just tried to walk through them. Or something like that. And there...
It's got to be an interesting day at the office.
It's not something that you can really do in modern game design, because modern game design is very big on making environments that at least pretend to be, something that someone would actually build. And I'm not going that way right now because it's the pathway that I'm not aiming for.
Because it's scary.
No, because it's the pathway that I'm not aiming for. That's a ceiling maze that leads to one of the red remotes, and I don't want to get that yet because I want to get all the collectibles and stuff.
So there's that there's less collectibles on that route, and so you won't be able to get the silver one.
Yeah, that's not a very long route if you follow it from here.
Okay. Oh, there's pentagrams. This game is satanic and will turn your kid into the devil.
Not just a devil, the devil.
Yeah, Lucifer himself
look at all
says,
of them.
"Okay, hey man, I'm passing the torch on to you. Go."
Time to play some Doom 2016 then.
Yeah, and you know what you do to protect your kid from that? You buy the game for someone else's kid first.
Yeah. Experiment. See if they actually do become Lucifer.
Yeah.
No, you see, because there can only be one the devil. So if someone else
Yeah.
gets turned into the devil first, then your kid is in the gold. They're safe. It's not going to happen to them.
Yeah.
And I mean, it probably would end up working out better for everybody if, like, instead of the devil being a aeons old creature of hate and manifestation, it was just like some dumb 12-year-old kid who played the wrong video game, you know?
Hate and manifestation.
I meant to say hateful manifestation.
But you're right. Like, if a video game turns someone into the devil now, odds are it would just be some whiny brat on the internet who whines too much about Nintendo or something.
Whose name just unfortunately happens to be Dumb.
It's not Satan, it's Satine.
So it's probably, what was the character's name in Tekken? Jin?
Yeah, Jin Kazama.
Yeah.
Jin, wait, okay, so is Jin the youngest one, not Mishima, or is...
Yeah.
Okay. No, there is a Devil Jin.
Yeah, there's a Devil Jin and a Devil Kazuya.
Yeah.
Is it Devil Kazuya?
Yeah, it's if Devil Kazuya is in the game, it's usually a locked final boss, or it's a transformation that regular Kazuya can achieve at will. Devil Jin, on the other hand, is generally treated as a separate character because I don't think Jin has control over it.
That and since they brought Kazuya back in Tekken 4, they changed Jin's normal fighting style, but people like normal Jin in Tekken 3, so it's like, okay, here's Devil Jin who plays like Tekken 3 Jin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if they had a kid, it'd be Devil the
You
Second.
see, Tekken lore is just as stupid as every other fighting game lore, but I find it more interesting than, like, Street Fighter, for some reason.
Because it's super goddamn ridiculous.
Well, they're all ridiculous, though.
No, but I think Tekken, at least from the beginning, played around with it. You know?
One of the things about Tekken is, like, I think from Tekken 3 onward, is that the series tried to have its story. It didn't try to take it super seriously, but it did things with the story and game that games like Street Fighter just plain don't. For example, having an actual story mode.
Well, nowadays Street Fighter will. I think that's what Ted was getting at. But I think Street Fighter tried at first to take itself semi-seriously, and then by Alpha, it got way anime. And then,
Ain't it the truth?
yeah. Now 5 is pretty over the top.
People play Street Fighter
As is
5?
4.
I don't like that story mode. It's kind of half-assed.
Oh, well, isn't that Street Fighter 5 in a nutshell?
Well, yeah, but the story mode doesn't even have the decency to be coherent, and we had to wait for that. So, meh.
I can tell why you didn't want to do this level, because it seems pretty obnoxious. It seems like they're very tight on whatever those things are.
They're not that
Jason
tight
has-
on it. I was just being stubborn about getting this one because I dropped down. There are 2 of these collectibles in a vertical line down from the ceiling, and somehow I only got one of them on the first pass. I'm like, what? How could I get one and miss the other? Is like one of them just like a pixel off?
Z-axis.
Ugh. And well, yeah, it's an okay level. It's just that this kind of level design does not work quite so well with Gex's camera, and I hate constantly going into the menu to change to manual control.
I guess that was one thing Super Mario 64 did have, is that you just needed to press C up to change the camera style. Was it, or was it?
Well, the camera was on a semi-automatic control no matter what, but you could rather freely swivel it around regardless. And the level was
Yeah, you could change it real
yeah,
time.
and the levels were designed around the limitations of the camera. So as janky as the camera is compared to nowadays, at least it never really got in the way of the game design.
It's only slightly jank rather than majorly jank.
Like this one. Yeah.
Yes. This is Jank City.
New Jank City.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zambies.
Now, here's the thing. This room, this morgue area, is like a unique area that never appears anywhere else in the game, I think. but it's just here for a couple random not even collectibles, just random health power-ups and that kind of thing. Maybe an extra life. I thought this was when I first got here. I thought this was a route to a red remote, but it's not. It's just this inexplicably unique room that's purely a side diversion.
Ugly is as ugly.
Maybe they made the assets and couldn't figure a whole level out based off of it, because it seems like all they've got there is the platforms going in and out on a timer in and out of the walls. So I guess they just didn't want to make an entire level of that for some reason.
Well, they don't need to make an entire level of that. I just like when I got here, I was expecting something more than an extra life.
Yeah, well, at the very least, it makes the level visually varied.
Yeah.
Also, there's a lot of blood.
Well, yeah, but, you know.
Sure hope that isn't Chris's blood.
Well, you go get that red remote. I'll be examining this.
Speaking of John, when are we going to get to Resident Evil 1?
Good question, I'll ask John.
The answer is whenever we get to Resident Evil 7.
I don't get it.
It's because the game is practically Resident Evil 1 with a different story and a first-person perspective.
Have we met Mr. Tongue?
It's alive?
It's alive, and it's apparently a generator can't take a hint.
Oh man,
It's like using a defibrillator on someone that doesn't
I
need
think
it.
the electricity kind of screwed my VLC player over because my video froze for like 5 whole seconds on that screen. Ugh.
Okay.
Oh man.
Do you take fall damage in this?
Not-
No, I don't think you do.
Not if you're bouncing.
Well, definitely not if you're bouncing, but I'm not sure if you take fall damage or not when you're not.
You will splat.
Okay, because I know that
Like-
I've seen, like, Gex get cartoon stars over his head a couple of times.
Yeah, but that's
I-
not damage. That's just you. That's an impact stun effect.
Oh,
Run
if you
away.
had gotten that
Yeah,
one...
40
if you
Damn
had
it.
gotten that one mask and didn't give up, you wouldn't have to backtrack right now.
I know. It's so fucking frustrating.
We can't see. It's just Lewis fuming while recording this.
Now, you see, I'd love to get that mask that I see right there, but it's too far away for me to long jump to, and that's actually the end of a completely different red remote path. So,
What are you gonna do?
Just go for it.
Oh man, if only I could somehow bring that mask to me.
You see, this is why Gex only being able to climb up some walls is weird.
yeah. And that's
Weird,
It's
you mean
also
dumb.
it's also a real downgrade because you could climb on virtually anything in the 2D game.
Well, it would break the game, to be
It
honest.
would break the game. Well, yeah, it would wind up being Knuckles from Sonic Adventure, where there's no platforming challenge at all. It's just finding shit. But it's still I still feel like it was a missed opportunity. Gex 3 does more with the climbing,
Oh
but
man.
it still keeps to the you need to be on specific walls.
Well, one thing that Gex definitely has over Knuckles is that he climbs much faster. Because Knuckles, like, compared to this, Knuckles is slow as molasses in the both adventure games, really. They are about the same speed, I would have to say.
Really?
Dun, da, da, da.
Well, I don't remember one having climbing speeds that were much faster than the other, although I don't play Adventure 1 very often, so...
No, 2 is definitely
They were-
faster than 1.
No, they're around the same.
It's not... I'll put it this way, it's not major. It's not, like, significantly faster, and it's certainly slower than Gex here, because Knuckles climbs pretty slowly, although that was always kind of the point, is that you sacrifice speed in order to, like, get to new areas, pretty much. Or at least that was the idea in the 2D games.
No, I would say the only thing the 2D games sacrificed for the sake of exploration was jump height.
Well, also, if you want to climb up a wall, it's really, really slow, though, even in the 2D games, so...
Sure.
So it's just like, okay, I want to go up here, but it's Sonic, I want to go fast, so you can either go up there or keep on running. It's not a thing like that you're constantly thinking about, but it's kind of like in the back of your mind, I guess.
One of the useful things about the flame power-up is that the fire always points upward. So it actually helps you orient yourself while you're climbing.
You see, in most games, most games like these, they'd only have one quote for a power-up like this. But, oh, Gex, he's got 3 quips.
Well, that's an Arthur Brown song he just quoted.
There was also a questionably homophobic one
Which
in
is
there.
also a good song. Listen to it. It's actually, I do like Arthur Brown's Hellfire. So.
Alright.
Oh, yeah.
That's one down.
Oh god, there's 2 more.
Well, fortunately, since I got all the collectibles that first time, I don't need to dick around with those anymore. But I did miss the hidden remote. And I walked right past it, actually. But I'm tired of Frankensteinfeld, so let's take a break and play one of the bonus levels, since I just unlocked one. This one is called In Dragnet. Yeah.
Was Gex always in the tux in the hub world?
Yeah.
Okay.
In Gex 3, he switches over to his Kung Fu uniform for the hub world there.
Love how it's not Bad Boys.
Yeah, you're right. It's not.
I'm guessing this is a level trope we have not seen yet.
This is just a bonus level. All the bonus levels have a unique level trope that doesn't get a full level. There's the
And this one, it's
except
cops.
for Thursday the 12th, which is just sort of another horror level for some reason.
God, I hated cops.
I don't think I've ever seen a full episode of
I
Cops.
hated cops so much because it's.
Okay,
all
imagine
fucking
Kitchen
watched.
Nightmares, except something far more serious than restaurant trouble. And it's something like that.
Well, I never have Spike TV on, so I'm never going to watch another episode of Cops ever again.
Except without Gordon Ramsay to make things actually entertaining.
Here's another person hyped up on drugs. Let's chase after him.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly what Kitchen Nightmares becomes at some point, because every restaurant has the same fucking problem.
What? Oh, I thought you like here. Everyone's out on cocaine.
Well, there are occasional dips into high drama situations, but
yeah, these bee sprouts are good, but you know what? I could use a dash of cocaine.
I like that one Kitchen Nightmares episode where the owner of the restaurant was like the son of a crime boss, but they never mention it. Like, not once.
Well, it's kind of a funny thing. A lot of mob front restaurants are actually very, very good restaurants. It's like there's this big drama in the episode about the son's inheritance being somewhat stolen by his father for the restaurant, or part of it anyway, and they never mention where the inheritance came from, despite the fact that partway through the episode, the father gives Gordon Ramsay a book about his father. So it was probably in there. They just tactfully didn't mention it. Well, nobody in the studio wanted to get their fingers torn off, so I can't blame them.
Well, the other thing is that the goal of Kitchen Nightmares, for as melodramatic as it is to get the businesses running again. So they actually don't want to say something.
In that case, then
drive
Gordon
people
Ramsay's
away.
helping out the mafia and could go to jail.
Nah. He's not with the mafia. His dad
I-
was a crime boss, and
I know. I'm
that's about it.
joking. I'm joking.
It's not something that you find out from the episode. It's something that you find out researching the family after to find out if the place is still open. It's not. Ugh.
Is "It's Tail Time" supposed to be like Gex's catchphrase?
Yeah, and he's got like 5 or 6 variants of it within those voice clips. Also, a lot of tongue now. A little tongue now, a lot of tail later, which is the one line that no kid ever got. Well, if they
Okay,
did,
because they're both terrible.
Well, yeah, but one's an innuendo.
Once an innuendo, and "It's Tail Time" sounds like something that a lizard-themed Cartoon Network show would try to use as its catchphrase. And
Oh man, this game is age confused like nothing else. That's another gold remote.
So, how do you think like the British actor? Like, do you think they had the same catchphrase?
Same catchphrase, but way different delivery.
No, I do believe it's tail time.
Do they have different quips, or are they all the same quips?
I think they're all the same
I don't
quips.
know. I never heard the British version of this.
I think they're all the same quips. And if you want to hear the British version of Gex, watch Kid Icarus's review, retrospective trilogy on the series. He spotlights the voice. He spotlights the voice actors pretty well.
I don't know, because like I say, a British actor quoting Austin Powers just seems redundant as shit.
It's not funny if they're actually British.